Okay, good morning. Today is July 23rd of 2024, and this will be the daily outlook as well as the previous day's price action. Okay, so as expected, yesterday we did draw towards the highs, and we did get some really good trades. I did expect, like I said, right off the open, we didn't see enough structure for me to want to get into any position. Though I did get into a dumb trade, but quickly covered it once I realized that I was being impulsive instead of taking a logical trade. And so I just waited really. I waited for price to show me something, and we did get a perfect signal here. As soon as price took this high, as you can see, the high is by maybe a couple of ticks, 67. Uh, Actually, one tick to be exact. So one tick, and so that in itself is a relative equal highs. And like I said yesterday, the market loves to target these relative equal highs or lows later on during the day once price has swept enough liquidity, and that's exactly what happened. Price came all the way down here into the 7:30 New York Open, swept these lows into 1 hour gap right here, into a 1 hour gap, and which is right here around this gap right here, and then price drew higher. um, and once price did that, I did cut off the stream early yesterday, but as soon as I cut it, I waited a couple more minutes to see what price did after it took these lows, and that's when we got our trade opportunity. um, Price swept these lows into this gap, displaced higher, creating some gaps. I actually took my entry here with a stop down here. Actually, I would have cut it here because this whole move is a displacement, and um, once it filled or rebalanced these gaps, um, I was comfortable waiting. Um, so yeah, I got in right here, and I think the other one I got in right here somewhere. And then I actually covered into these areas because by this time it was already way past the macro. And if I were to willing to wait for this high to get swept, I would have wanted this low to be around here, at around 950. And obviously that's not what happened. It happened after the macro was over. I got in here. I was in a little bit of drawdown, but that's fine. I covered into here at 5 points on each, and I came back at 11, and I realized that price still had not swept these highs. Yeah, price has still not swept these highs. It only double topped it again right at the tick. And so what did I do? I waited for price to come back into an area of liquidity, and right here is an area of liquidity. If you look at the 15-minute, I believe, I think it was the 15-minute or the 5-minute. No, it was the 5-minute. On the 5-minute, there is a gap here, right below it with an order gap, order block. Is it on the 5-minute? It was on one of the lower time frames. No, it wasn't that one. But you do see this gap here. Uh, no, not that one. um, I believe it was this. Yeah, it was this one right here. Uh, an order block along with a gap here, and so I entered. Once I saw that price was willing to draw higher, I waited for a signal for the second stage of distribution to finish this market maker buy model. And so I waited for this. Actually, let's go ahead and do this. And so right here, price closed above this FBG, causing an inverse, and I jumped in right here. one here and one here at consequent encroachment with a stop down here, and I covered both of them into this. Now I did say that I was going to take my my profit on the 1 minute highs and lows because again yesterday there was no news, so the likelihood of price continuing on with the trend was not likely, and so I was able to catch that 5 points here, 5 points here, uh, both on minis, and you know, as you know, 1 point equals $50, so you do the math. So that was it for the morning session. I come back into the afternoon session. I did I did trade this, but it was only paper. I didn't feel like I had a good Monday to start, so I didn't want to give back any of that. Though there was a pretty good entry here. Um, Actually, not here because here price had yet to break any of these highs, and so I was actually watching this, and I completely actually you can't see it here, but I completely missed this one. Price came down here, actually swept these lows, and once you see a low swept, um, you see something like this, or displacement higher actually, and then you get in here with a target up here, uh, and so I did take this trade. I didn't take any of these. As you can see here, none of these are within the macro. Maybe the 12 o'clock macro right here, but I don't like trading those. I mean, obviously it did work out, but you don't want to be in a trade at during lunch when there is no news. And even though price did work out in any other type of environment, any other date, it might not have, and you could have easily gotten swept. So, so those are my only trades. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the daily and get ready for today. Let's go ahead and connect to data as well. All right, here we go. Okay. I don't know what happened yesterday, but the panning of the XY axis wasn't on for some reason. So the only news we have today is at 10 o'clock. So I won't be trading until after 10. Um, and today I remain bullish. Today I'm targeting the highs again. Whether it's the previous day highs, I'm not sure if price draws into those highs, but I am looking for price to draw back into equilibrium. Draw back into equilibrium for me to decide whether it wants to actually for then price to tell me whether it wants to continue drawing higher or just not, and then we get a draw lower. I do still believe we get a new low on the daily at least. Not on the weekly. I don't think we take any more weeklies, but I think we do take more downside on the dailies, and I do hope that we do only trade into this area and then we draw higher after that. But if price continues higher, with this being the low of the week, then that's fine with me. So again, my current draw right now are the highs. I'm looking for the highs to get drawn into, and I do see that price did trade into extreme discount here, and price is at extreme discount here within this range. Um, so yeah, my bias today remains bullish, but we'll see. We are within a gap here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, we are within a gap here, and as you can see, we are at consequent encroachment. Bear actually, it didn't even touch it. So I do believe we trade higher. We do currently have SMT at the highs here between ES and NQ, with ES with a higher high on ES and a lower high on NQ. So you know what? I don't need this. Actually, let me do this instead, because consequent encroachment to me is important. not because that's where I want to get short, because I am not looking to take shorts today, but because I do believe that that's where price is drawing towards in the shorter time frame. So I'll do that. As you can see there, the gap still remains up here. Is actually up here above equilibrium, so we'll just leave it at that. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Oh, and why did I get long here? Well, because we had a 4-hour PD array right here. Same thing here, 4-hour PD array. Actually, no, this didn't happen until the afternoon. But by that time, I was already good, so I paper traded. But yeah, still, PD arrays are important on the higher time frame. So right now, it does seem like we have a head and shoulders type of pattern, with this being the intermediate term low, higher term low, uh, long term low, intermediate term low. So we do have these areas right here. So I would like to see something else here, and this could be the intermediate term low. So I wouldn't like for this high to get swept. I do see here that we still have yet to sweep the opening today's opening high. Is this? I think it is. No, actually, this was yesterday's high. Wait, all right, I'm confused. Uh, oh, right. Okay, yeah. So like I said, we still have yet to sweep previous day high here, and we swept previous day high here. But again, I do believe we still have upside to go. Um, and we do have a gap here where I'm watching, because again, price has yet to sweep these highs. I don't see anything up here on the 4-hour. Actually, I didn't check here on the 4-hour either. Yeah, the only gap is down here, so I don't expect price to come all the way down here. So let's move down to the 60. Okay. Okay, so since we do have SMT with these highs, I would expect this high to take this low, um, or some sort of low, maybe this low here. So the current draw on the lower time frames are these lows, right? And since this one is actually, no, not this one. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if these lows get taken again. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, let's put this gap here. So yeah, we do have a draw into this area right now, and we do have a gap along with an order block here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price held here and drew higher afterwards. Same here. I wouldn't be surprised if price drew here and then drew higher afterwards. With this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually swept this low before price continues higher. Because on the lower time frame, we do have external liquidity that was swept. Now, again, this is lower time frame, um, and so we should be coming back into some sort of higher form liquidity, which could be this right here. All right, and as it stands, this continues to be the dealing range on the 4-hour. I mean, on the 1-hour. Same thing here. This continues to be the 1-hour dealing range. Let's take a look at the 5-minute, 15-minute. On the 15-minute, we do have an inclining dealing range, which is right here. And from what I can see, there was no violation of the dealing range up here. Same thing here. This was the dealing range. Price pulled back, retraced, and currently this is the dealing range up here. Okay, so it does make sense. Like I said, we are at equilibrium here. This is equilibrium. So once price sweeps these lows, um, I'll look to see what price wants to do. If price draws higher, then I'll look for more structured, for me to see whether price wants to continue higher or lower. Now, if for some reason we get a price continues to draw higher, lower with speed, then I would like to see something here so I can get into a second stage of distribution so I can target these lows. Now again, this will be probably a 1 minute trade if I do end up trading, if I do end up taking a short into these lows. But again, overall, I'm still bullish, so that's what I'm looking for right now. But again, it all has to do with how price reacts here in these areas. Um, there's no form of SMT on the lower time frame at all. There was SMT between this low and this low, actually this low and this low yesterday on NQ, but nothing yet on today's price action just yet. But yeah, again, we are pulling away from equilibrium. Let's see what the lower time frame looks like. Let's take a look here. I do like that we wicked into this area. We wicked into this area and closed up here on the hourly. So that's a bullish sign. So it does make sense that price may want to draw higher from here. But I'm not looking to get in yet. And we are trading off of equilibrium. Actually, let's take a look. We might be getting a good entry right now. Um, yeah, here we go. Where is 0730? Let's do it like this actually. Let's go with midnight 15. Okay, so I am going to be looking to get long below midnight open, unless this was the entry for price to continue drawing higher. I don't think it is, because I still am seeing downside, and I don't expect. Yeah, I don't expect price to take these highs just yet. Um, yeah, I would like for lower prices for me to get long. But again, if price continues higher, sweeps this highs, then we can start maybe looking for a retracement back into equilibrium, to see if price wants to draw higher after that. But I would not like for these highs to get taken off the open. I would like for a retracement wherever it is. I don't know. But again, I am looking for a dealing range to get violated. There is a violation of the dealing range on the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame down here, but I'm not looking to take that just yet. I want to see that on the 15 minute at least. There is news today at 10, so if I see a clear entry before 10 or 9:50 to 10:10, then I'll probably take it with a stop at the whatever high or low I'm seeing at that moment. Let's take a look here. This is the oh, thought I put it in there already. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and mark this one. Okay. Okay, so this is the opening New York Open, and this is the New York Open up here. Right. Okay. So yeah. So we did trade in here already, but again, I'm not looking to get long here, because I do think we still have some, maybe a little downside. We do have displacement here. Um, in fact, let's keep on looking here. Displacement, displacement. Okay, so if I did want to get in short, it would be above equilibrium, which we just took. 5 minutes. Let's look at the 1 minute now. Okay. All right. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for displacement. I want to see price draw an intermediate term high. So if I do end up taking this short, I'm going to target these lows here. So let's just see. And it might come down to the the 930 Judas swing. So we'll see. But yeah, I am liking this trade here. So we'll see. Displacement, intermediate term high. Um, you know what? I'm going to take this one because this one has a gap. And the stop is up here at 12, and the risk reward is warranted for me. Even if I'm wrong, let's go ahead and take one here at, what's it, 925. Okay. So yeah, I'd be risking 3 points to make nine points. Yeah, definitely worth the risk for me. So we'll see. Okay, so all right, come on. All right. Okay. Again, just it is kind of an impulsive trade, but if I get stopped out, that's fine. I'm trading micros this time because I'm not 100% on this one, but I am anticipating that this is the intermediate term high. So we'll see because NQ already took that high, so that would indicate that this might be the SMT that we're looking for, just for the Judas swing, for the 930 Judas swing. And if I get stopped out again, it's fine. Because they are micros, so I'm not really too concerned of whether this trade works out or not. All right, and so my average is 9.50. So again, I am risking only 3 points micros, so I'm totally comfortable with that. Let's go ahead and put hard stops at 12.25. Okay, hard stops. Okay. Okay, so the one thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for displacement anytime now. Within the next 5 minutes, I want to see price down here. I don't want to see price up here off the open. I want to see price down here. And if price is up here right off the open, I'm going to take it out. So I'm timing it basically. Again, I'm not looking for price to be up here at 9:30, and if it is, or maybe 28, 29, or whatever, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna cover it. Yep, I see displacement. We took out some liquidity pools up here, so it's logical for price to draw lower into equilibrium. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what price wants to do, and we are drawing lower, but my first target will be here, and I am taking 5 contracts, so that's good enough for me to start for the 10 o'clock, 9:30 Judy swing. And my first target profit will be 450, 250, and that'll be it. I'm not looking to overstay my welcome here, so that's what I'll stick with. We do have void here. So yeah, I am watching this area to see what price does. I am looking for price to displace through here, and the lower price goes, the lower I'll bring my stop down into. I am not looking for a candle like this. If I see something like that, then I got to get out. Um, if this high gets swept, that's fine as long as this one doesn't. But again, I'm looking for price to open up down here somewhere. Um, and it looks like maybe that's what we're getting. Not sure, not so sure yet. All right, I'm not looking for that. Actually, why did I say it was SMT earlier? Yeah, there is SMT between this high and this high here, and this high and this high here. But again, it's not a big sign. I don't care about SMT right now. I just care that price is rebalancing into equilibrium, which is down here. So we'll see. So far, so good. But we are getting close to the open here. Again, I'm not looking for price to come back up here. If it does, then I got to cut it. And again, if price comes up here, then I'm going to cut it. So let me cut it here. Let me leave some orders at 450, 425. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so I have some orders there at 450. Um, some limit orders here to cover at 450. I didn't want to take this one because I didn't see any gaps here. So we'll see what price does. And I have my my finger on the trigger in case price does decide to displace higher from here. A couple more seconds. This would be technically a breaker, a unicorn model, but that's on the higher time frame, and I just don't like that just yet. I would like to see the unicorn out here somewhere if it decides to draw that. All right, 20 seconds till the open. Let's see what happens. There we go. All right, come on. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm not liking that. and I'm going to take it right now, it seems. Okay. And again, I do have my hard stops right up there, so if I do end up taking it, then I mean, my hard stops will end up taking it anyways if I don't end up taking it. All right, we got a couple more seconds before the close. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna keep my stop up here. This is where my stop is now. I'm not looking to be here longer than I have to. It is the 0930 open, so yeah, I'm not looking to stay here longer than I have to. Okay, and price just swept that low on NQ. But again, my stop remains up here, and that is SMT with ES and NQ until that low gets broken, obviously. So let's see what happens. Come on. All right, so it looks like I am a few ticks away from that. And let's see here. All right, so we just took that. We took that one as well. We took another one. And the last one remains into these lows. Actually, I forgot to put in a sell on that last low. Come on, just a little more. Oh, actually, I have two left. Okay. And we are still drawing lower. I would like on NQ for price to sweep these lows. Same with ES. If price gets above this gap here, then I'm going to cut the last remaining contracts actually. You know what? Just so I don't regret it, I'm going to take the last one off at 5 points as well. And I'm out on that one as well. Okay, so I just have one contract left. If price gets above here, then I got to cut it. So we'll see. I don't like that reaction off of ES, off of NQ, but I'm remaining there. Because this is a 1 hour gap. So it's logical for price to draw down here, rebalance this whole imbalance first, and then price draws higher after that. And once it does that, I'm going to cut off the data and come back for the 10 o'clock macro. But again, I'm not looking for price to come back up here because it needs to finish this right here, a sweep. Okay, so I'm not liking that. I'm just going to cut it here. Let's see here. Yep, I'm going to cut it. All right, I'm all out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was an okay trade. I do still think we sweep these lows, but we might need to pick up a little more liquidity before we draw lower. And that was what, 10 points? Wait, not 10 points. 5 points off of this area to this area. See, because we are at the 9 open, price does tend to act erratically. And I did see this, yeah, I did see this playing out this way, but the fact that um, during the open, price is very volatile and erratic, causing a lot of stops. But if you're right, it can be lucrative in that price may likely come down here. But I still respect the PD arrays because at 9:30 they're less likely to work because of how erratic price is. But I still have to listen to that. Now, honestly, my stop should have been up here because this actually no up here because this whole area is the PD array causing this imbalance. Um, but again, I don't want to stay longer than I have to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect my data. So yeah, I like that. I like that trade. The only wrong thing I did was I did not place though my stop was up here on my last contract, I should have immediately stopped it up here or dropped my stop down in this area. And then if I get stopped out on my last contract, that's fine. But I could feel the emotion, and that's why I cut it. I don't like it when a PD array that I'm using to stay in a trade gets violated like this. On any other day, at any other time outside of the 9:30 open, something like this to me is a red flag, and I would have taken it. But during the 9:30, I do have to give it some more room, a lot more room, because though this looks scary, it is highly unlikely that price does sweep this highs if the drawn liquidity is lower. So so yeah, that's where we stand right now. Again, SMT with this high and this high, and actually I thought I saw it. No, it was with this high, the 9:30 open, this high and this high, this high and this high, and now there's no more SMT. So yeah, right now to me the drawn liquidity is the lows. So so we'll see what price does. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 15-minute. So right after the open, I'm looking to see how price reacts here because again, this is first stage distribution. Second stage, if the draw are these lows, I'm going to look for around here. Same thing with this one. If the draws are lower, actually not that one. Yeah, if the draw is lower, then this would be first stage. And I'd like to see something here. I'd like to see some sort of consolidation for price then to draw lower into these lows. But again, today I still remain bullish. So we'll see how price reacts once it sweeps these highs. If price displaces higher after this, then I'll be looking at this inclining dealing range to give me indication as to where price is likely to go um, later. So yeah, let's see. I'll be back in about 8 minutes. All right, I'm back. I just had a quick error on my platform, and I'm just restarting now. Okay, here we go. So we did get displacement higher on the hourly, so I'm wondering if that will be enough for price to continue drawing higher. So we'll see. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I am watching this area here. I do want to see if this is the entry to go along. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so I guess that was the entry to get along. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we did take out external. We are still bullish, so now I'm looking for price to come back, sweep this low once again, and then I'll start looking for an entry. Because as it stands, this is the current dealing range. Yep, right here. This whole area is the higher time frame dealing range, but since it hasn't taken out these highs yet, and then Q it already did. But yeah, I'm looking for price to come back down here. If it draws higher, then that's fine too. I'm looking to trade um, within the higher time frame dealing range. I'm not looking to trade on the 1 minute, and I'm looking to trade within the macro. And there is no entry just yet for me. I'm not seeing anything. So yeah, this would have been the correct entry to get along, but I figured that price would still want to come back down to even lower equilibrium or sweep some of these lows. But that's fine. Since we are still bullish and this confirms that we still are, I would like a retracement back into equilibrium at least, and then for me to start targeting the highs. Now, if for some reason price draws higher from here, then what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for more structure because the 2016 area are relative equal highs, and so that is the draw on liquidity. Same as the draw on liquidity from yesterday, which was the relative equal highs. Oh, these areas right here. So we'll see. I don't like entering long at expansions because if you enter long here and you're wrong, that's a pretty high stop. So until I see enough structure, I'm just going to continue redrawing my ranges. Yep, there it is. And oh, okay, it's up here. So yeah, right now we took out external here, so it makes total sense to come back to internal um, for price to continue drawing higher. Now, like I said, if price draws higher from here, that's fine. What I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for something like this on the 1 hour. Let's change that. Nope, not that one. Something like this. Something like this. Later on, though, maybe the 11 o'clock macro. Um, and if I were a betting man and looking to gamble on this, I would turtle soup an entry here And you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give a try again with micros, but after price sweeps those over here, if it does. We do have 10 o'clock news, so we are waiting about 8 more minutes. One of these won't get swept, so we'll see which one doesn't. Let's take a look at the 1 minute to see if maybe price is coming back down. So we do have relative equal highs here. Well, not really relative equal highs, but they're close. There's no entry here, no short entry. Nope, no short entry either. Take a look at this one. Uh, Nothing. No short entry. Maybe here, if it does, but I'm not looking to take that chance because price may very well continue drawing higher after this. So the only structure, like I said, the reason why I want these lows to get swept is because that would nullify this lower time frame dealing range. Because I like getting long once there's a declining dealing range. For an inclining dealing range, I like to use those to get short. And it's pretty spot on that we reversed right at the midnight open. Because that would make this day an open, low, high, close type of day. But again, I would still like one more sweep of the lows. Okay. Let's see here. Yep, still not seeing anything. Oh, and these are my entries on this trade. I got in up here, covered into here, took the last one off here, and good thing I did because it did run these lows, these highs. So we'll see what price does here. We do kind of have a 2022 model here: breaker, displacement, gap. So um, we might have some people entering short here. Now, that though the setup is perfect, I wouldn't trust it. I'm not going to trust it, so that's why I'm not getting in there. It is during the macro, and that's fine, but I'm not going to get in there. So we can look at the 1 minute. Yeah, we do have same thing here, displacement, but again, I'm not going to trust this because price may very well draw higher. Um, and so again, if price draws higher, I'm gonna expect for this down move to be the order block for which I'm going to trade long later on during the day. And that might mean we're setting up for an 11 o'clock macro type of play. so these are the models that I'm looking for. Here we go. All right, so yeah, these are the models that I'm looking for. If I'm short, I'm looking for this model. If I'm long, I'm looking for this model. Again, buy sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. Right now we are at buy side of the curve. And if we take this high, then that means that this little tiny model is over. So if it takes this high, I'm looking for the same thing once again, higher. So we have 2 minutes until the open. Actually, the 10 o'clock news. We'll see what. Damn. We'll see what happens afterwards. There's still enough time for price to draw an entry, so I'm not too worried about just impulsively jumping in here. There will always be opportunities because in the back of your head you should keep those relative equal highs on the higher time frame in the back of your head, um, because eventually it'll hit. There we go. Now, if there is, I forget what his name is. I think his name is Dodgy. If he were trading long, he would most likely get in here because he likes playing with. He likes messing around with inverses. All right. Yeah, if he were trading long, he would be trading this one. Um, and his stop would be either this low or if price closed below. I'm going to say this low right here because this is the low that created the imbalance to the high. Oh man, what the hell's wrong with my throat? Yeah, I'm not gonna trade this one. Oh man, what the hell? Oh no, I just realized that on the 15 minute in NQ it makes sense to get along there, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take one just in case. All right, I'm gonna take it there. And if I get stopped, that's fine. Because again, this is not my type of setup. And it looks like I'm gonna get stopped. We'll see where the 1 minute closes though. All right, I'm gonna take it because I don't like that. Now again, I'm gonna stick with my type of setup, which is to get short. I mean to get long up here, down here somewhere. But I might take a shot here with. Yeah, I might take a shot here. Nah, I'm gonna stay away from it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So we're definitely getting getting some type of setup here. And so I'm going to eyeball this area right here where the pointer is at. So I want to see what price does after it comes down here. See, that's why his model is not as precise, because even though you had an inverse here with displacement and a few gaps here, I am 100% sure a lot of people took this one. And because of that, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are underwater right now, or maybe might have already taken their stop here. Now, I would only take this short to target these lows if price closed here, came back in to sweep this gap here, and then you start the down move. But since price swept this low, just watching here, we are still within the macro, so I'm happy waiting. It looks like ES is the one that is not going to sweep these lows. I always like seeing that. I always like seeing one of them not sweep the current dealing range. And if that happens, then to me, that's, I don't know, that's kind of like an added uh, confluence into what I want to see price do. Yeah, see, this is where people would most likely get short. But just because people get short here doesn't mean that it's going to come sweep these lows, because it might very well sweep this high again from here. So I'm not going to get into that, because again, I am looking to get long. So I want to see this low get swept. And if it sweeps these highs, then that plan where I want price to do this is even more set in stone. Yeah, if you're short here, you're pretty much gambling, because one of the rules is to always get short above equilibrium. So whether it's here or if you're using this leg, yeah, it would be here. Actually, it would be up here somewhere. So yeah, that's their odds aren't really in your favor. So yeah, maybe right here if you're using this leg. Okay. All right, so I am seeing something here. I want to see price close above this price range here, because then if this closes above here and we get an entry, this will be consolidation, manipulation, expansion. So I want to see price close above here. Here we go. So now we have a new dealing range. Okay. I want to see where price closes though. All right. I'm liking where it's closing because it already swept this. So that's changing the state of delivery and market structure shift. All right, a couple more seconds. I don't want price to close down there. Oh man, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. And I'm gonna take it right there. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I do like that it's right up the New York Open, so I am long right now. What's my entry? My entry is, geez, where is it? 575. Okay, yeah, so, oh wow, okay, pretty close. Okay, so this will be my first target. My stop is, yeah, my stop will be these lows here. It's a rather large stop, but again, I want to see how price behaves over here. If we start getting these weak closes, then I might not keep it. But this will be my first target. This is a 1 minute trade, so it makes logical sense for me to just cover up here my whole position. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, I'm not looking for that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Okay. All right. So I'm not completely sold on this trade. I'm going to cut it. I have my hand on the trigger, and yep, I'm going to cut it there. I don't like that. It's not my type of model, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, definitely don't like that. Yeah, it's not my models, and I don't feel comfortable taking something that's not mine. So I'll just let price go. Okay. All right. So if we do get this sweep with displacement, again, what I'm looking for the now that the macro is over, let's go ahead and cancel the data. Here we go. Okay. So this is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Yep. This is what I'm looking for. So what I'm looking for now is something like this. I'm looking for something like this. And then for the draw to continue higher. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Actually, no, not that. Something like this, and then like that. Because what I'm looking for is, again, I'm looking for a lower time frame dealing range to get violated. Once that happens, I'll look to get in. Now, if for some reason we don't break these highs and we create relative equal highs, and then we come back down here, that is that is gold. That's gold, and I will be in heavy. I'll be in heavy to then look for a trade higher. These types of trades are, for me, are only good enough for one contract. And as you can see, we did sweep this lows. We did close above here, but again, it's not my type of model. It's not what I'm looking for, so I'll just let it go. And if I'm correct, oh wow, okay. So I am looking at another trader here. It does seem like we are rejecting the highs. So we should draw lower. So it looks like we're going to get a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock model setup. And so, yeah, that's it for today. Look for if it rejects here, look for these highs, lows get swept. And if these lows get swept, then that means that this is the new dealing range right here. And so now I'm not looking for these lows to get swept. I'm looking for this low to get swept, and then for price to tell me where it wants to go afterwards. Uh, okay, yeah. So I'm done for today. So I'll see you tomorrow.